Okay, now we have two shifts. So we have a decrease in demand and there's a decrease in supply. We know that we can draw each of these shifts individually. And we're going to start by doing that because I want you to visualize what's happening. We know that our supply curve is upward sloping. Our demand curve is downward sloping. And it doesn't really matter what our graphs look like in terms of how steep the lines are, as long as they're not vertical. So we know that on our y-axis, we're going to have price. On our x-axis, we're going to have quantity. And there's a decrease in demand. So I'm going to draw that on the first graph. A decrease in demand would be a demand shift to the left. So this would be our new equilibrium point. This would be P and Q. And then we're going to label our equilibrium point because we have to know what we're comparing it to, which is P star, Q star. P star and Q star. And for our decrease in demand, we see that our price went down and our quantity went down. For our supply curve, if there's also a decrease, then it's also going to shift to the left. And we're going to care about our new intersection point. So there's a P and a Q. So for our decrease in supply, we see that our equilibrium price, or our new equilibrium price, increased, and our quantity decreased. Now, if both of these were happening at the same time, we would need to know more information to know what's going to happen to both of them. So if two curves are shifting simultaneously, you need to know which one is bigger, or which shift is bigger. Or you can only tell me what happens to either price or quantity. So right now, we don't know which one's bigger. So we know that price from our demand shift is going to go down, but from our supply shift, it's going to go up. So we say that the effect on price is indeterminate, or it's unknown, without more information. Quantity, however, will definitely go down because it's going down in both of the shifts. It's going down in our demand curve and it's going down in our supply curve shift. So quantity will definitely decrease. So we're going to look at another one. This time, there's a decrease in demand and an increase in supply. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to draw both graphs. and you're going to look at the arrows. So we draw it. We have price on the y-axis, quantity on the x-axis. Our demand curve is downward sloping. Our supply curve is upward sloping. And we're going to draw two of them because there's two shifts that are happening. We need our equilibrium points so that we know what we're comparing it to, because without something to compare it to, it's really hard to say if it went up or down. We need that point of reference. So first, we have a decrease in demand. So demand is going to shift to the left. We're looking at where the lines cross. And when they cross, we're going to have a new Q and a new P. And it looks like our P went down and our Q went down. So price decreased, quantity decreased. We're going to do the same thing for supply. But this time it tells us that there's an increase in supply. So an increase in supply means supply is shifting to the right. We care about our new equilibrium point. So this is our new P. This is our new Q. So our price went down and our quantity went up. Again, without knowing more information, we can only determine what happens to one of them. Since price is going down on both of them, we know that price will decrease. Quantity, however, will need more information. And a lot of times we're really not given all of the information. We're just given general statements. So next we have an increase in demand and an increase in supply. So again, two graphs. On your y-axis, you have price. On your x-axis, you have quantity. Supply is upward sloping. Demand is downward sloping. We care about the intersection point. That's our P star and our Q star. And now we have an increase in demand. On our first graph, which means our demand curve is shifting to the right. So this is Q1, this is P1. Price went up, quantity went up. On the other graph, we have an increase in supply. So supply is also going to shift to the right. This time, price went down, quantity went up. So we're going to look and see which ones are going the same direction. Price went up and then it went down. So price is indeterminate without more information. It could go up if the demand curve shifts farther than the supply curve. It could go down if the supply curve shifts more than the demand curve. And we'll look at situations where we actually know which curve is shifting the most later. Quantity goes up and it goes up. So quantity will definitely increase. And then we have one last one where there's a decrease in supply and an increase in demand. So same thing as the others. You're going to draw two graphs so that you can see the effects of each shift on its own. Supply is upward sloping. Demand is downward sloping. We care about where they cross because that gives us our P star and our Q star. And P star and Q star are just representing our equilibrium point. On our y-axis is always price. On our x-axis is always quantity. So there's an increase in demand, which means demand is going to shift to the right. Care about the new equilibrium point. We see that price went up, quantity went up. We're going to have a decrease in supply. So that means supply shifts to the left. So we care about the new equilibrium point. We have a new P, a new Q. Price went up, quantity went down. So we're comparing again. Price went up on both of them, meaning that price will definitely increase. Quantity, since it is going up and then it's going down, is indeterminate without more information. As always, if you have questions, please let me know. We're here to help, but you have to let us know when you're stuck.